We are officially on to the 2025 rookie class, and there is no better starting point than this running back group. It is much improved from the 2024 running back class. I've got 15 prospects that I want to go in depth on, and then I've got another 8 for you to keep an eye on. There's lots to get into. Let's go. Here we go. It is good to be back again, previewing yet another rookie class. And I wanted to start with the running backs because it is a really dynamic group. There's a lot of upside. There's a lot of depth to this running back group as well. I've got my top 6 running backs in this class are all graded out higher than my running back one from last year's class. The running backs are going to dominate the first round of your rookie drafts, even in super flex formats. There's so much to get into. Before we get into my actual 15 prospects here that I want to dig into in depth, I want to let folks know this is an open discussion. This is a starting point. So drop those questions in the chat. Who am I too high on? Who do you think I'm too low on? Did I leave out a name? Do you question some of the analysis that I'm sharing? That's exactly what I want to be doing at this point. So please make sure to drop a comment and do me a huge, huge favor. If this video helps you even a little bit, give it a like and make sure you're subscribed to the Rookie Big Board YouTube channel. So without any further ado, let's get into my running back one, and that is Ashton Jeanty, the running back out of Boise State. No hot takes, no surprise to start off this video. This is a consensus opinion across the board. Folks are high on Ashton Jeanty. 5'9", 210, former 4-star prospect. Jeanty has elite level contact balance. I love the way he absorbs contact and continues after. He is explosive off the snap, but what I really appreciate about Jeanty, what I think separates him, is that second gear ability. It gives him big play potential every single time he touches the ball. Even more so, though, Jeanty's footwork really gets me excited. He's got sharp footwork. He beats defenders consistently. He can juke them out in tight space, and he also works well in open space. He's a very elusive runner. You pair all of that with excellent vision and excellent change of direction ability, you have a very well-rounded runner. He's got a power profile, he's got good vision, and he's got game-changing athleticism. I expect all of that to add up to first-round draft capital, and I expect him to be a top 4 consensus pick in your rookie drafts, even in super flex leagues. He's a strong contender for the 101 overall. Now, you're going to see on each of my slides that I give you a dynasty value comp. That is a value comparison. So what I'm doing here is I am telling you who Ashton Jeanty is equivalent to in my ranking system, because at the rookie big board, you're able to see Devy rankings, dynasty rankings, rookie rankings, and they all work on the same scale. So if you look in my combined rankings right now, Ashton Jeanty, the closest running back to him in dynasty value is Jonathan Taylor. So if you're trading Jonathan Taylor right now, you should be getting a top 2 or 3 rookie pick. All right. If you want to see more of those rankings, get in-depth analysis, in-depth detailed scouting reports, I'm giving you the overview on all of this. You can head on over to patreon.com/rookiebigboard. We have so much awesome content coming your way throughout the whole rookie season. The link to do that will be in the video description. But let's get into my running back 2. And to be honest with you, running back 2 through running back 5, the next 4 guys are very interchangeable. Right now, my running back 2, it's Trevor Etienne out of Georgia. Now, Trevor Etienne, I didn't expect to be here either. All right, that was my little dramatic pause I was throwing in there. 5'9", 205, former 3-star starter at Georgia this year, but transferred from Florida after playing 2 seasons in a rotational role for some reason with Montrell Johnson. When I'm watching Trevor Etienne, I see somebody who bursts off the snap. He hits open gaps hard. He's got quick, sharp footwork that really helps him win in tight space, but he's also able to shake defenders in open field. So that's what I really like about Trevor Etienne. And the more and more I watch his All-22 film, that's what stood out to me. And that's why he's just eking a little bit higher than the next couple of guys I'm going to talk about, because he wins in tight space and he wins in the open field. He's an aggressive runner. His strength matches SEC power profile. He's listed at 205. I bet he's going to be closer to 215 when he weighs in Indianapolis. So he's got strength, he's got sharp footwork, he's got elusive ability, and he's got explosiveness. I got to tell you, if you're just looking at the box score, if you're just looking at pure highlight, Travis Etienne will not be at the top of your rankings here, but right now, he's starting off as my running back 2. I'm excited about him. Running back 3, let's go to Ohio State. We're going to go with TreVeyon Henderson. That's actually the Ohio State running back that I like a little bit more right now. And I say actually because I think most Devy analysts have faded a little bit on TreVeyon Henderson. But when you put him under the actual tape review, there's so much to like about this running back. He's a well-rounded prospect. He wins laterally with quick feet. He's got a really mean jump step. I feel like that kind of gets undersold a little bit, but he absorbs contact very well. I love Henderson's ability to be effective in short yardage situations. When running backs win at the goal line and in short yardage situations, that's a huge check mark for me because that translates to fantasy football production. Henderson has a really fantastic level of start-stop explosiveness that really defines his game. Again, you pair that up with that lateral agility, and you can start to see how he's a difference-making runner. I like Henderson's decisive running style. He's physical. He attacks every run. He gets right off the ball. When he sees space, he hits space. And I think that's what actually separates him from his Ohio State teammates. So Henderson, I'm expecting him to be a mid-first round rookie pick, and that is if he gets top 50 NFL draft capital. That's a little bit of an aggressive projection for me. I do think he's going to go in day 2, but Henderson, although the Devy community has kind of faded him after that 1,000-yard true freshman season, I think the NFL is really going to love his well-rounded running style. So I'm going to sneak him into that top 50 projection here. And let's get on to my running back 4, Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina. And I got to tell you, I really want to rank Omarion Hampton higher, and I very well may once I get more film review on him. But the film's kind of slow coming out of Chapel Hill, so we need a little bit more to have that confidence. But I got to tell you, Omarion Hampton, he runs with confidence. He's a power profile runner, and he physically dominates ACC defenders. I mean, he shreds in between the tackles, runs over linebackers. He has ridiculous contact balance. I'm not being hyperbolic, folks. If you haven't watched Omarion Hampton yet, you will see defenders bounce off of him. It takes multiple guys to drag him to the ground. I mean, he keeps the pile moving forward. He's 6'0", 220, and you pair that with the ability to get to top speed very quickly for his size. Now, his top speed is not going to be the top speed of a guy like Quinshon Judkins, right? He's not going to run in the 4.4s. He's probably going to run in the 4.5s, but he gets there quickly, and that is really key when you pair that with a power profile. He's reliable in pass protection, and he's a good check down option. You're going to hear me talk about pass protection a few times throughout this video. I know it's not the flashiest thing for fantasy football, but it is exciting for front office evaluators. And when coaches can trust a rookie running back to be in pass protection, they're just going to get overall more volume. So it is something that you need to pay attention to. My running back 5 is going to be Quinshon Judkins out of Ohio State. And Judkins is going to tie a bow on this second tier, right? Ashton, Jeanty on his own. And then you have Quinshon Judkins, Omarion Hampton, TreVeyon Henderson, and Trevor Etienne in a tier together. So Quinshon Judkins, I like him a lot. He's an explosive runner. He's the type of guy where if you're shooting for just upside, you're going to have Quinshon Judkins higher. He's a home run threat every single time he touches the ball. He's a high motor runner. He fires off the snap. He gets into that second level of the field very quickly. I like Judkins' contact balance, and he finishes forward. He goes through the run. He's always trying to get an extra yard or two. He can change direction and turn upfield on a dime. All right, that's part of that big play home run threat ability, like I mentioned. And Judkins is also a reliable extension of the passing game. Coming in at 5'10", 210, that's a really well-rounded profile. He is a 3-star prospect. He transferred to Ohio State after back-to-back 1,000-plus yard seasons with Ole Miss, including as a true freshman. So there's a whole lot to like about Quinshon Judkins. The reason that he is at the bottom of this tier for me, and again, I like Quinshon Judkins overall, but my hesitation here, my yellow flag on Quinshon Judkins is that he has some questionable vision. At times, he struggles to anticipate space. He'll get caught overthinking behind the line of scrimmage. He'll miss cutback lanes. And vision for me, if you score low on vision overall in my formula, it will drag you down. So that's why Quinshon Judkins is coming in at running back 5 for me, which I do think is a little bit low compared to consensus. I'll tell you what, though, my running back 6, I think, is high compared to consensus. If you've been listening, if you've been watching the Rookie Big Board for a couple of years now, this one should not surprise you. I'm a huge fan of Kansas running back Devin Neal. Devin Neal is he is the definition of a well-rounded running back prospect. I love his vision. He is a decisive runner. He anticipates space very well. If you look at Devin Neal's ability to find, get into, and create space, you add into the fact that he's running behind a really poor Kansas offensive line. There's no legitimate quarterback play consistently threatening defenses. It really makes you appreciate Devin Neal's feel for space even more when you pack in all of those factors. I love his ability to find and hit cutback lanes seamlessly. He's a high confidence runner. He creates his own space consistently, like I mentioned, and he is shifty. He wins inside the tackles with really shifty footwork. He's fluid, but he also can bounce to the outside really seamlessly. And again, he's got a good feel on when to bounce to the outside and when to just put your head down and grab a couple yards, right? That is a key thing that I'm looking for with a running back. NFL front offices do not want guys who extend the play too long. Devin Neal knows to take what's given to him. He attacks defenders. He absorbs contact well. He's not given a lot of credit for being a power runner, but he's got a really great low center of gravity. He's got good lower body strength. It helps him win at the goal line. It helps him win in short yardage situations. So Devin Neal, I project him in that mid-second round range because I don't think other folks are going to be as excited about Devin Neal as I am. But I think if he sneaks into day 2, which would be probably above consensus of a projection for NFL draft capital. But again, I see that if he goes day 2, then he's going to be a mid-second round pick. If he goes day 3, he's probably going to be a third round pick. And I'm going to have 100% exposure for Devin Neal. So I am not even going to stress. If he does go day 3, it's not going to bother me at all. It means I'm going to get him around cheaper, and I'll be very excited about it. I'll tell you who's not going to go day 3. I'm pretty confident that Jordan James, the running back out of Iowa, will go day 2 in the NFL draft. And Jordan James is the first guy who I've mentioned on this video that I didn't log a summer scouting evaluation on. So I went in with fresh eyes to his tape evaluation, and I was so excited. Folks, I've watched hundreds of running backs since I started the Rookie Big Board, since I started really doing running back evaluation. And so it is hard to get me that jump out of my seat excited. But Jordan James did that for me. It's because he's a super twitchy athlete, right? He's got wicked quick feet. He's got wicked sharp cuts. He gets to top speed quickly. We're talking 0 to 40 real fast, right? He's explosive into the second level of the field. You get that explosive game-changing upside here with Jordan James. You pack that in with good vision. He sees space well. He changes direction easily. You pack that all in now with somebody who is super reliable in pass protection. Again, not the flashiest, but I just talked about all these flashy traits. And then he does the basics well. Also, he stonewalls defenders in pass protection. He picks up on blitzers well. He's got a low anchor. He really is a well-rounded runner. He's got good size that he packs in there. And so I have this value comparison here as J.K. Dobbins, right? We're talking about Jordan James, somebody who you're probably going to draft in the early second round of your rookie drafts, right? And you're looking at somebody who's going to be a consistent running back 2. He could hit a running back 1 week. He might have some running back 3 weeks, but overall, he's going to score somewhere in that running back 13 to 24 overall range. And if you're able to get a guy like that in the early second round, that should be very exciting and very encouraging for you when you're thinking about the overall strength of this running back class. Next up here is going to be Kaytron Allen. And yes, he's my highest ranked running back out of Penn State. We will talk about another running back out of Penn State a little bit later in the episode. But I think Kaytron Allen deserves some praise here. He's not getting enough credit. And I think NFL evaluators are going to really like his run style here. 5'11", 220, 4-star prospect. I know Nick Singleton, the 5-star, gets a lot of the hype. Kaytron Allen, that same class, he stuck with his commitment, high 4-star recruit. He could have gone to a lot of spots, chose to still go to Penn State, and he put together some really good film over the last couple of years for the Nittany Lions. He will power through Big Ten defenders. I love Kaytron Allen's ability to leverage against defenders. He knows how to keep his body low. He knows how to get the most out of his frame, and he does power through and overwhelm Big Ten linebackers. He's got good bursts through the gaps, and he carries that momentum forward through the second level of the field. Not the biggest downfield runner, not the best downfield acceleration. I don't know that you're going to get those home run plays with Kaytron Allen, but this is the type of back where you can give him the ball on first down and you can feel confident you're going to get to 2nd and 6, right? You're going to get to 2nd and 4. NFL teams love those guys. He's got quick feet. He's got clean, explosive cuts. It really helps him shred in between the tackles. He's doing most of his damage in the A and B gaps, but he's doing really well with that. And he is a decisive runner. He's got good anticipation. He understands what his offensive line gives him, and he's willing to go ahead and attack that. Kaytron Allen, like I mentioned, I just don't think he's getting enough credit at this point in the process, but he is somebody who definitely intrigues me. Somebody who has intrigued me for a few years now is Damien Martinez, my running back 9 out of Miami. I almost said Oregon State. I'll talk about his Oregon State tape here in a moment. I like Damien Martinez. I want to like him more, all right? And I'll get into that. All right, off the bat, he's physically dominant, 6'0", 232. That's a big check mark for me. I haven't talked about a lot of larger frame running backs. You have Omarion, Hampton, and then Damien Martinez. Those are kind of your bigger guys. If you like big backs, those are the 2 guys that are going to lead the way for you here. And Martinez is more than just a frame. He carries the size well, and he uses that frame dominantly. He absorbs contact well. He's a patient runner too. He anticipates open gaps. He will be a little slow, a little hesitant behind the line of scrimmage at times, but I think most of the time you'll give him credit for being patient and waiting for that space to open up. I really am impressed with his lateral agility compared to that 230 frame. I think he moves very well laterally, and he's aggressive and he's reliable when it comes to pass protection. Now, I mentioned the Oregon State tape because at Oregon State, Damien Martinez carried the load, 20 to 30 touches a game, and he really built that momentum and built his confidence over the course of the game and really wore down defenses. At Miami, Cam Ward's throwing the ball a lot. Damien Martinez doesn't have as much volume, and because of that, you're going to see the box score a little bit lower. Just know when you're evaluating Damien Martinez, you're not doing yourself justice. You're not doing him justice if you just watch the Miami film. You have to pair that with Oregon State film, combine both of them to really understand who he is as a prospect. Next up here is going to be Dylan Sampson out of the University of Tennessee. Dylan Sampson broke Tennessee's single season touchdown record, and we're only in November, so he's had a big impact for the Vols this year. That's why he's coming in as my running back 10. 5'11", 190. I think he's going to be closer to 200 when it comes to weigh-in time at Indianapolis. I like Sampson's ability to shred between the tackles. He's got quick feet. He's got sharp cuts. You pair that with some nice lateral agility, a mean jump step here for Dylan Sampson. He attacks open gaps, and he carries his momentum downfield very well. High motor is a really good word for Dylan Sampson. He keeps running through the play. He's got SEC strength. I do project him to be a day 3 selection. I talk about this each and every year. There's nothing wrong with being a day 3 pick. I understand the stats. I understand the models. There are analytics that say the hit rates are lower. That does not mean the hit rates are non-existent, right? We get so much value every single year for drafting running backs on day 3 through the rookie big board community. It's one of the best places we find value. Dylan Sampson might be our locked and loaded guy, right? He might be the Tyrone Tracy of this year, who I was telling everybody to take in the 3rd round. Or he might just be more of a running back 4, but in the mid-3rd round, that's the type of value that you want to be going for. I like Dylan Sampson, and I got to tell you, I'm going to have some Dylan Sampson. I'm going to have a whole lot of Woody Marks. Now, I've been in on Woody Marks for a while. I've liked him since he was Jacovius Marks, which is the name he went by when he was at Mississippi State in the Mike Leach air raid offense. Think about this running back, man. He's been coached under Mike Leach and Lincoln Riley. what an awesome combination of explosive guys in terms of developing offenses, right? But Woody Marks, why am I so excited about him? Of any running back who I'm going to talk about on this episode, he is your PPR guy. He is your pass-catching running back, but he balances that. He's not just a pass-catching running back, but over 1,400 receiving yards here in his collegiate career. So Woody Marks has reliable hands. He's more than just a check down option, though. He's comfortable working over the middle of the field. He's comfortable catching the ball in traffic. He can work the drag route. He can work the wheel route. He's got the ability to run a slant and out. So he is lining up legitimately as a wide receiver. He's running real routes. He's showing the ability to adjust well to off-target passes. When he's running the ball, he's a patient runner. He hits open gaps hard, though. He's got that start-stop explosive ability that is a rare trait. It's an exciting trait. He gets into his cuts very well, carries that momentum downfield for that big play. He has good downfield acceleration ability. So 5'10", 205. I'm talking about downfield acceleration. I'm talking about good size. He's also a slippery runner. All right, he's not going to run over defenders, but he's also not going to go down on first contact. So Woody Marks, I expect him to be a third-round rookie pick. He's not the most exciting name. He doesn't have the best highlight reel. He's not going to have the best Indianapolis, but I got to tell you, he's somebody who's going to come with big PPR upside. All right, let's get into it here. How in the world am I talking about Nick Singleton after Woody Marks? It's just where I'm at, folks. This isn't clickbait. This isn't supposed to be a hot take. I want to have Nick Singleton higher. I swear, every time I watch him live, I bump him a little bit up in my rankings, and then every time I turn on the tape, he goes right back down. It's just not consistent, right? But let's not focus on the negatives. Let's talk about the positives here, and let's talk about how Nick Singleton gets to the point where he's not running back 12, and maybe he matches running back 5, 6, which is where I think consensus is closer to on him. So anyway, 6'0", 210, former 5-star prospect. He's got good contact balance. Nick Singleton, he's willing to put his head down. He's willing to take on a defense, and he's got solid burst off the snap when he's given space. When Nick Singleton has open space to work through, you will see those big plays. That's where the highlight plays come from. He pops off the line of scrimmage. He's bursty. He explodes to the second level of the field, and boom, he's downfield. It's a big play. He's got good lateral agility, and at times he shows really sharp cuts. But Nick Singleton, and at times he's really powerful, right? Because at times he'll win the leverage point. He'll get low. He's got a big frame, and he is muscular. There is strength there. But you can see my notes say at times, right? At times, Nick Singleton looks like he has no lateral agility. At times, he's running completely upright, and he's getting just completely stonewalled by defenders, right? It's a lack of consistency for me with Nick Singleton. And that's why I think an NFL team, if they're evaluating him right now, would give him a day 3 grade. And that's not what we want from Nick Singleton. So if you have Nick Singleton on your Devy rosters, the best bet, your hope, what you want out of this situation is for Nick Singleton to return for another year, put it together more consistently. And that's the story of our next guy up here too, Ollie Gordon. If you told me heading into this season that Ollie Gordon would be down here in the teens in my running back preview rankings, I would be shocked. I might call you ridiculous. You might call me ridiculous. Like I said, drop a comment. I don't like this any more than you do, but it's been a weird year for Ollie Gordon, right? We're talking about a guy who's 6'1", 211. Let's talk about the positives first. Ollie Gordon, he's got good play strength. He finishes through runs. He's aggressive. He's scrappy. He's trying to get every single yard out of every single play, and he does consistently gain yards after the catch. Or after first contact, I should say. So he absorbs contact well. He carries that forward. It oftentimes will take multiple defenders to get him all the way to the ground. And for a guy who's coming in at 6'1", 211, I think he's pretty light on his feet, and he's got pretty clean cuts for his size, and he's a reliable check down option as well. So what's my struggle with Ollie Gordon? This year, you don't see as much explosiveness. This year, he does not look confident as a runner. And I do think a big piece of this, I don't like to explain away, right? But I do think you have to acknowledge a big piece of this is this Oklahoma State offensive line this year is in shambles. The passing game, not a threat, right? So boxes are loaded. Offensive line is overwhelmed. Here's your best bet. If you are an Ollie Gordon truther, and I'm there with you, I have a lot of Ollie Gordon, right? He was ranked super high in my Devy rankings going into the season, and I got to own that as well. your best bet is that he returns and transfers. Hit the transfer portal. You have to think the Ohio States, the Miamis, the Oregons of the world, they're going to be looking for a talent like Ollie Gordon next season. And then we could see him really get that confidence back and put together what we saw from 2023. And then we've got to be talking about a potential top 50 pick. Next up here, number 14. We're getting low. We're getting deep. And I can't believe Kaleb Johnson is this far down for me. I heard the hype. I got excited. I put on the film. I saw some good things. I'm just not there yet on Kaleb Johnson. But let's talk about the good things. 6'0", 225. He's got a good frame, and he definitely has that physical presence that holds up against that frame. So he's compares nicely strength-wise against Big Ten defenders. All right, and he anticipates space, and he does hit gaps with conviction. So when that space is presented to him, Kaleb Johnson is absolutely going to hit that gap, and he's going to approach that aggressively. And he's got smooth speed and a good pop off the line of scrimmage. So what speed he does get to, he gets to very fluidly, right? It almost looks effortless. He really builds up that speed nicely. And he does have some good pop off the snap and reliable extension of the passing game. So here's where I struggle. Here's where I'm low on Kaleb Johnson. I don't see the explosiveness consistently. The top speed is limited. I mentioned he's got smooth speed. That's good, but you want that smooth speed to build up to a second gear. No second gear that I'm seeing on tape. And then Kaleb Johnson, a poor pass protection technique. He just throws his body at guys. He misses assignments. And listen, there's time, right? These are all preliminary scouting reports. I'm going to add 3 to 6 games on all of these running backs after they actually declare for the NFL draft. And when I watch more film on Kaleb Johnson, I hope I get closer to consensus. I hope I get closer to where everybody is. But you need to know with the rookie big board, I'm giving you my honest takes. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not tweaking to consensus. I'm happy to be wrong, but I'm never happy to conform and be wrong. My last guy, running back 15, it's DJ Giddens, and it's never good to be the last guy on the list, but I liked what I saw from DJ Giddens live. I just think realistically the NFL views him as a late day 3 selection, and draft capital is important. It's not the only thing, but it is an important thing. Still, if you're looking for guys in the 4th round in your rookie drafts, which is absolutely where we find hits, DJ Giddens deserves some attention here. So let's talk about the Kansas State running back. I think he's a shifty runner. I think he can make defenders miss in space. He's got good strength relative to the Big 12, and he finishes forward consistently through his runs. I like Giddens' ability to win the leverage battle. He's got good contact balance, and at times he can be explosive, but that explosiveness is not consistent. The top speed is low. The strength is not, it's good. It's not going to line up to some of the other power profile guys. So you kind of have somebody who's good at a lot and he's not great at anything. And when it comes to that, that's not where you want to be specifically at the running back position. It's really not where you want to be ever as a prospect, but it's especially not at the running back position. So I just went through 15 guys, and believe it or not, I almost didn't want to put together this video yet because there's a ton more guys that I want to watch. But, you know, we got to scrap for film. We got to find film. We don't have enough film out there to give educated opinions. But I know that if I left these guys off the episode, you would absolutely be dropping comments telling me, you know, why aren't you talking about Cam Scatabo? Why aren't you talking about Jonah Coleman? So here are the guys who absolutely will get scouting evaluations here and will be in contention during rookie profile season to get their own full videos here. Cam Scatabo out of Arizona State, explosive, good pass catcher. Jaden Ott, really dominant between the tackles for Cal. Kyle Monangai out of Rutgers, highly productive guy. I'm excited to watch more out of him. Believe it or not, I'm not watching a lot of Rutgers live, so we'll have to go ahead and get the tape for that. Taj Brooks out of Texas Tech. Everybody who watches Texas Tech tells me Taj Brooks is an exciting dual threat a dual threat contributor, so I'm excited to see him. Jonah Coleman, I got to tell you, if I didn't mention Jonah Coleman on this episode, I don't know, maybe I should have done it for clickbait because everybody loves Jonah Coleman. I haven't watched him. I haven't put him under the microscope yet. Haven't gotten the all-22 for Washington, so I'm excited to see Jonah Coleman in that way. Raheem Sanders, you know what? I thought we were over the hill. I thought we were cooked, but I'm seeing a little bit this year. I'm seeing a little bit of Raheem Rocket Sanders, so we'll add some more film for him. And then we'll finish it off with Phil Maffa, right? Phil Maffa out of Clemson. I'm excited to see him. He's been productive, and I have heard some good NFL draft chatter. And by the way, I'm going to watch these guys. I'm probably going to watch 12 more running backs on top of that. Overall, the rookie big board every year, we end up somewhere between 75 and 90 full prospect evaluations. If you want to see those evaluations, if you want to get in on my Devy Dynasty rookie rankings, if you want personalized advice via the Rookie Big Board Discord, there is no better time to get in on it than now. It's just $5 a month. The link will be in the episode description. You can save 20% off with an annual membership. I appreciate you watching through the entire episode here. If you made it to the end, please, come on. You got to give me a like and do me a favor, drop a comment. Tell me the one running back who you're excited about. Hey, I appreciate you checking this episode out, and we're going to be on to wide receivers next.